So, guys, this is SlapperCast episode number 68.
See, if you just
Next
had
week,
stepped
baby.
in,
Next week.
Just stay in bed a little bit longer.
It's-
You could have just gone straight to the
Straight to 69.
stampede, straight towards the. Yeah. Well, yes. So it is. We're slapping again, and it's late now, but it's on time. Where we are. Very, very, very happy birthday to Judy.
Yes.
And I think she's a little over 21, and she is just one of our favorites, absolute favorites. Why is she our favorite, Chad?
Because she's my mom.
That's right.
She's also the coolest mom in the whole world.
Was that agreeable or was that?
Everybody's
dubious?
allowed to take issue with that because
exactly
you
right.
got your own mom.
I'm going to
That's
assume
exactly
she's
right.
cooler than my mom. Kidding, mom.
You're grounded. So very happy. And also John Dania, our who's another favorite mother of ours, but a different kind of mother, if you know what I mean. John, happy birthday, sincerest happy birthdays. And before we get going too, gotta say, big thank you to Keith over at A&A Supplies for having us out.
Yeah.
Also for Peter and Kathy Duncan for coming out and sitting front row with a bottle of champagne, celebrating their first outing. So just huge honor for us to have them there, but also, that was their first trip out. And of course, the one and only Jeff Duncan just killing it. I mean, just absolutely murdering it yesterday. So, and everybody else that came out too, Beth and
Brett,
yeah.
Beth and Beyond.
Brett and Beth, exactly. Good one, Chad.
They brought us some beer,
Thanks.
so thanks
Yeah.
for the beer.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
That was
Cool.
cool.
Just, I mean, and everybody in the neighborhood. I mean, all those people that came out and brought lawn chairs and sat out in the car park, 100 feet away, but still, it's just phenomenal. So we're always great. And then I have to say all this now because if I don't, we'll get going and then we'll miss it. But Declan Dunn in Dublin, and of course, his sister Wynne and her husband Bernard in Liverpool, and of course the Carr brothers who had we spoke to yesterday, and just I mean, so many. Anyway, so
Yeah. There were a lot. I mean, we had a lot of people being generous yesterday, too.
Extremely. And Sandy, of course, my friend Sandy, who I've known since On the Dole days. She and the Carr brothers, I think we're at the first or second On the Dole show. I've known her, and she not only is she a Blaggard fan, but she's also she follows the Mighty Orc, who is as anybody in Houston knows, just an absolute treasure.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a friend longer than I knew what before I knew what he could do, and seeing him now and hearing the stuff he's putting out is just it's second to none. He's entered national blues competitions and placed first or second or something. Really, I mean, just incredible talent, and so we just want to say thank you to everybody, and so many people to thank.
Yeah, too many.
Yeah.
So what's on our agenda today?
Today we were going to talk. Oh, we also want to thank Kay for the coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Again, we're doing some stovetop today. So
cheers, everybody.
Yeah.
Cheers. Quote Paul Beebe.
And yeah. So and we're back in the studio. We're Paul of Beatle fame here in Houston. He came out of hiding, and we're back in the studio and doing some really, really fun stuff in there. And looking forward to getting back this week and hammering out some more stuff. So it really does. It feels like there's a clearing. There feels like there's a little pathway.
I think so.
That's starting to show itself, and if everybody takes care of everybody, you just take care of yourself. to quote the airlines, you put your own mask on first, screw the little bugger beside you, and until you get because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. So that's how it is.
True enough.
Yeah. So the bars we mentioned last week, the bars were going to be opening. We weren't sure exactly when, but it turned out to be Friday, or depending on when. Some bars opened at midnight, as O'Bannon's did, at midnight on Thursday night. As soon as they were able to.
Who did?
O'Bannon's in College Station.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They were chomping at the bit to get on.
They have, we've spoken about them so many times, but Chris and them, they brought good beer to College Station. Where you were doing the 10-cent, little draft, dreg crap beer, whatever other places.
Natural light ice.
Yeah. Yeah, they would, but Chris would drive to all different locations, as far as he could go to make sure that they had the best beer for their clientele. And they taught their clientele how to enjoy and different kinds and blah, 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 and craft breweries and blah, blah, blah. So their people, the people in College Station were gutting for this place to open. And so midnight.
Yeah,
good for
very
them.
appropriate. So
I sent Patrick this picture when I saw it. So it's so brilliant. In order to keep the social distancing and as much in check as you can in a bar, which is not much, they made a table service only. So you have to be waited on in order to get your beer. They're serving in plastic cups. For now, just to reduce the.
I think everybody should be doing that.
Yeah. And but also, to prevent people from congregating around the bar, they erected this barricade of kegs from one end of the bar to the other, and it looks really cool.
Nice.
It's in character with the pub. So it doesn't, it's a drag that that anybody has to institute any kind of precautions at all. I understand that why, it's you want to go to a bar, you want to be able to relax and not have to think about crap, but we're not quite there yet. But I just thought he was so cool. He was able to do that with kind of making it fun. It's like, okay, can't go up to the bar, but here's this wall of kegs.
Those are all good. Those are all good points that I think a lot of bars should be, taking note of too.
Yeah.
And we spoke about this yesterday while we were setting up. Some of us were a little late, but we won't go into that.
We won't?
You're damn right you won't.
Well, we're working this town again.
Yeah. So, we spoke about it yesterday. The people, again, online, and please bleep this, Chad, there's cocksuckers online that are, that are giving these bars grief about how they're keeping their staff and themselves safe. And I don't care what you think about this. I don't care how you feel about it. But if somebody else, if your neighbor is in, if they feel that they're in peril and there's a chance that you're going to get sick, and but they want to come out and they want to be with, be with others, do not begrudge them that they're right. They have the right to go out and have a drink and meet people, but they want to be safe. Don't begrudge. And if you're a selfish wanker and you're going to make fun of and boycott and spread false statements, whatever you're going to do, that's the horrible thing about this time that we're in is everybody's so entitled on their little keyboard, and they're able to spout whatever crap they want and just throw this venom at these people that are trying to make a living. And so if you don't want to wear a mask, I say go lick every doorknob and every toilet seat that you can find, and because anyway. I'm a little aggressive right now. So because I just see it all the time, and I saw somebody else going, another faux full-time musician on there saying something about crappy little wet live streams. So and that's absolutely fine for you. We have been in touch with so many people that we love, and I mean that this band loves, and that has been so good to us. And we were in touch with them through that, and we're able to play for them through that. And your band that can't play in a toilet, that can't get a gig in a on a street corner. you know, to be throwing shit at other bands, just, you know.
Well, I mean, also it's kind of showing people's true colors.
Yes.
Like that's what you believe in. That's fine, but it's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the way the rest of people tend to believe.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like that bar that was telling people to wear. Did we mention the name of the bar?
It would.
I would.
Yeah, it was Under the Volcano.
Under the Volcano.
Peter
Pete
Mitchell,
good
one
friend.
of the most passionate,
really, really good
business
friend. I've
owners
been
in
playing
town.
there for 15 years now.
And I worked with the guy.
And
He
you-
worked with me over at Continental Club.
Okay, so there you go. Okay, so good guy. And what does he want to do? He wants to open up to take care of his clientele,
Yeah,
but he wants to open up to take care of his staff as well.
yeah.
And if you can't get behind that, then fuck all.
I know.
Get out.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Just don't come. But you don't need to bitch about it.
Yeah, again, I really thought long
Now
and
we're all
hard
wound
about
up now.
Yeah.
even saying this, because I don't like this. I like this to be a little lighthearted and whatnot. But I just, you know, for the people that, like, you know, example, Jeff's got 2 small kids, and his wife is on the front line. When I say on the front line, she's on the front line. She's in the thing. And also, Lori and Enzo. You know, Enzo went into hospital, and Lori, she didn't have any thought about having to stay. But if she wanted her dad to have, he needs a surgery. He's having a really hard time breathing. But it's not it's a long story. But it's been an ongoing issue. It's not COVID. It's not anything like that. It's an ongoing issue. And Enzo is he's a very spry, you know, late 70s, late 70-year-old man. But he's having, so he has to have this surgery. They knew it was coming, and it interrupts his breathing and his eating and stuff like that. So she brings him to the hospital, and they say, look, we are going to operate. We can't do it yet. We need, you know, a few days. So you either leave him and don't see him till afterwards, because you can't come in and come out.
Right.
So this is a hospital. They know what they're doing. They're not doing it for politics, and they're not doing it for. So if you want to stay, then you got to stay. You got to stay, and you can't have visitors, and you know. So she's stuck in there too, and she's not comfortable. She's not. But there wasn't a thought. She goes, "Yeah, I'm going to take care of my dad." You know.
Yeah, of course.
So.
And the hospital wants to take care of him by saying these precautions, like you either leave or you stay, and you stay for the duration.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and Lori, as anybody that knows Blaggards knows how she and Chris take care of this band. They do stuff that we just don't have time to. They just do so many things for us, and we're so grateful. But that's what I'm talking about. Is there's so many, you know, you have your opinion and you have your facts that you're getting from wherever, and fair play to you. Wherever you're getting your facts, I hope they make sense to you, because I don't know where you're getting them, because I don't know where half of them are. That I want to be careful. I want to take care of my family and my friends, and you know, just make sure that everybody's comfortable around us. So we're going to do what we feel is necessary. You know, we definitely want to get back out and play, and this laying around crap is getting old. And so, but we want to, you know, we want to make sure that we're safe, people around us are safe, and we don't want to be.
Yeah. It strikes me as so strange. I know that people are still scared, you know, and freaking out about this in some respects. And I think a lot of times when people lash out, I don't want to wear a mask, you know, screw you guys. You know, internally, I think they're freaking out because the world is changing and they don't know how to handle it. You know, that's part of it. I'm saying I'm being very generous with that. But it's just funny to me that we've had, for example, seatbelt laws nationwide, right? For decades now. Didn't used to be a thing. When our parents were growing up, it wasn't a thing. At least in not all states. I don't know where it started, but it used to not even be.
It wasn't.
Yeah, and seatbelts weren't even standard in cars back in the day, too. But now we kind of take it for granted. I realize that I'm sure there's plenty of people who don't wear the seatbelt, but you know, that's at the risk of getting pulled over. That's for your own safety, you know? Nobody else benefits from you wearing a seatbelt except the cleanup crews, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's,
you know? The masks are for other people's safety. They could help you, depends on what kind of mask it is and what conditions you're wearing it under, I guess, or how long you're wearing it. But the point of it is to protect the people around you, not you. So if you go out there bitching and wear a mask, it's right now it is the most inconsiderate and selfish thing that you can do. And I understand if you don't believe this, you think this is a big hoax, great. it's not, you don't get to make that decision for other people and the people around you, especially the employees of the businesses that you're patronizing. So I just wanted to get that out.
Two things.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine just posted this on Instagram, and it's a picture of Anthony Hopkins from Silence of the Lambs, and it said, Hannibal Lecter wore a mask for your safety. He did, because if not, he would have eaten it.
Yeah.
Second thing is Charlie Sanders. Charlie Sanders, Chuck Savage, bass player. Played with Mike Stinson back in the... Anyway, he's a comedian as well, apparently. And he used to say, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, and they all stink.
Mm-hmm.
So, to your point about getting online and spouting off whatever, it's your opinion, but it's probably wrong.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It probably stinks.
And
But again, like my friend Michelle said, it's really easy to hate from afar.
yeah.
It's really difficult.
It's the easiest thing that people can do these days.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the funniest examples of that aspect of human behavior is road rage. I don't know if you've noticed this, but the oatmeal, you know, the comic, The Oatmeal, you're familiar with them? And he had a funny illustration of this once of example of people cutting each other off on the sidewalk, and it's like being very, oh, excuse me, sorry, pardon, didn't mean to run. And then cutting each other off in traffic. It's like, I'm gonna
kill you.
Shit on your grave, God damn you to hell.
Yeah.
It's because there's a separation, you know.
Yeah.
And part of it is also I think, well, in cars, obviously, your tension is ratcheted up because you're at the wheel of this huge killing machine. Too.
True.
Might have something to do with it. But anyway.
Yeah. All right, now on to the fun stuff.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah. AIDS.
Yeah.
No.
AIDS.
Yeah, so that's the so we spoke last week. We were going through all these bands, and one of the bars that opened close to me, and again, this will get me in trouble again, but I live in trouble. There's a bar that opened up down the street, and it's they were playing Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I was thinking, what I would give for somebody to put a real singer in that band, because the rhythm section was all right, guitar player was okay.
Yeah,
Flea's a great bass player, great entertainer, great showman.
Chad Smith's a really great drummer.
Yes. Yeah,
I think for me though, and I don't mean to cut you out there, but the Chili Peppers are one of those bands where the whole is terrible, but the parts, like maybe 2 out of 4, maybe even 3 out of 4, depends on the guitar player, are good. But the singer is the wild card. But I think when Chad plays with other bands, I think when Flea plays with other bands, I think what's his name was Dave Navarro when he was with Jane's Addiction was fantastic. Mm-hmm. But you put them together and it's just like the music's kind of boring.
Yeah. Well, I can't take that singer Anthony Kiedis. Ketoris. He just I can't take, especially when they go to sing da 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 da.
Oh, that song.
Please.
Yeah.
But he's saying, I walked out to the door and I was thinking about what I would give for, or just send him to voice lessons or something.
Yeah.
But again, I can't ever make fun of a singer, but that was just, it's so bad.
I know where this is going.
And to have a wonderful rhythm section, just doing so much work, and then somebody just come in and take a crap on top. I was like, God. So it got me to thinking, and we used to do this as kids. We used to put players from each band in a different band, and we would always say, so we back in the day, we were always what they call super groups today. We were putting these things together back when we were 9 years old, 10 years old. You're putting what if we took this, drummer and this, and again, ours was all metal. We didn't. You couldn't take what we thought was candy coated stuff like Duran Duran or any of those big 80 bands. We couldn't see in through the to us it was like just rolling a big gumball or something down the road, big piece of candy. You couldn't see into it, whereas you could in metal. You could always hear the drums, you could always hear the bass coming out, and the guitar players were always the loudest for some reason. you know, and you couldn't really have a crappy singer except Anthrax. So if you take these players out and you put them into other bands, that was what.
Okay. Yeah.
You know.
Just to go back to your point about the other bands, it's like maybe they had a more homogenized sound, so you really couldn't tell.
We can tell now. I just couldn't tell at the time because all the keyboards and all the.
Well, I mean, you know what band it is, but like
Yes.
you wouldn't be able to play, you know, like, I mean, would you recognize Andy Taylor's guitar work from Duran Duran versus Power Station? Probably not.
No,
You know, because they didn't really have a dynamic tone or
and he's way down in the mix.
well, that too, but metal guys, you can recognize a drum sound, you can recognize a guitar tone, you can recognize a bass line
Anywhere.
and you'd be like, oh, that's so and so. That
Yes.
sound, or to me, that sounds like so and so.
Yes.
Check the record. Oh yeah, he must
Yeah.
have done this one off or whatever. Singers too. I mean, obviously, I think singers are easier because you just recognize the voice.
Yes.
But for
That's the
instrumentalists,
easiest.
it's a little bit more challenging. But metal seem to have more of a.
And punk,
Most of the players had a distinct voice.
and punk too, the same thing. They had so many, you know, your David Byrne too. I mean, you put him in anything and you know it.
Oh yeah,
With that,
instantly.
just had that.
Yeah.
And again, that was my favorite thing. I didn't like Elvis Costello as a kid because to me it had that little. It was a little raw. But then you get to where I am now, and you're looking at those lyrics, and you're hearing the
Pretty dense.
yeah,
Yeah.
amazing
That's
stuff.
the thing when we did that Elvis Costello tribute. It was like, I mean, they sent me the list. It was like 30 something songs to learn, and I knew that Elvis was challenging anyway. And I sat down, and it took me a long time to kind of figure out what the deal was. And then I realized it's basically it's this verse, it's this chorus done this way, but the second time it's this verse, but he's going to add an extra measure on the chorus, so it becomes an 8 measure phrase is now a 9 measure phrase. And our very first rehearsal that we had, it was like, okay, here's the first. I forget what song it was. Okay, here's the first song. Here we go. And I go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, crash. Hey, stop. What? Can we hear the song again? Because it was just like it was so challenging that no one could remember what. So we finally got it down, and it was fine. But yeah, his stuff is.
What song was that?
I don't even remember. It was something, one of the easy ones. It was like. Angels Want to Wear My Red Shoes or something like that. I say easy, but every Elvis Costello song.
The other band that reminds
presents
me
a
of
challenge.
that is that's so challenging and it doesn't sound that way is Squeeze.
Oh yeah.
And one of those, I mean, talk about not prolific, not just prolific, but instrumentation wise, it just everybody's working their ass off, and it sounds like a bubblegum song. It sounds like but and I saw Glenn Tilbrook at the Continental Club, just him and a 12-string guitar. And I have to tell you, he did more on that stage in that hour and a half than I've seen 8-piece bands do, you know, in an entire night.
And that's when he was filming that documentary, right?
Yeah.
So
I was working at the Continental Club. It was still pretty new at the time. And Glenn was doing a tour of the United States in a Winnebago, and called up. There was a headliner that night. There was a band booked for that night, and he called up, and Pete Gordon, the dazzling Pete Gray, to his credit, you know, he knows. Pete knows everything. Pete is God. He knows who he's got on the phone, and you know, him looking for a place to get in here. We'll make it work. And they did the double night, and the place was mobbed.
Yeah.
The place was absolutely mobbed, and I saw people that I hadn't seen since I'd first moved to Houston in the club that night, and everybody had there was dead silence in the place, dead silence. And I want to say Crease ran sound that night, but whatever it was, the room just sounded like I say, an 8-piece band in there.
Yeah.
And he's really so unassuming, and but he ripped on that 12-string guitar.
Man,
he played the solos. He sang the keyboard parts when he you know, he was just imagine if you will, taking your, you know, taking a deep breath and just singing one note or many notes for an hour and a half nonstop.
Yeah.
And it looked like, and then he didn't break a sweat.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. He blows me away. The fact that
I'll tell him you said that.
Yeah, that you can take music that's so intricate like that and he plays it just by himself, and it's still just everything is there. And I think I posted this on Facebook a long time ago, that I think it was him doing Another Nail in My Heart, which one of the reasons I love that song is he rips into the guitar solo immediately after the first chorus. Like he wastes no time getting there. It's this great solo. And when he plays it acoustically, he doesn't skip a note. He plays that entire solo, and it doesn't. Usually, when you have an acoustic guitar player who's trying to jumps from a solo from the rhythm to the solo, it feels like something's missing. You know, not when he plays.
Yeah,
the energy's there. It keeps chugging along. He's amazing.
He did the same thing for Is That Love. He played the guitar solo on a 12-string guitar, and it looked like. And usually, especially when I go from rhythm to lead, it sounds like somebody got hit in the head, and then you go, "Oh, okay, now we're in another spot." But again, exactly what you said.
Yeah.
It's fluid. It's beautiful. It's the whole band are amazing. He is amazing plus spectacular and some.
Speaking of old numbers that we recently we're trying to think of old songs that we haven't played in a long time. Is That Love is one we haven't played in years.
We never played that one. We did it Up the Junction.
No, we did this really early on. Really early on. You were covering it. Don't you remember?
No.
Yeah, you did.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, you did. I've got recordings of it. It was one of it every week. That was one of his regular.
Should you make that a Patreon exclusive?
Yeah, well, if I can find it. But yeah, it's been. I mean, I literally don't think we played that since Brian Vogel was in the band. It's been ages. But I would really love to hear this guy play it.
I played Up the Junction before in a band. I can play whatever.
And
I'll play whatever you want me to play. Just tell me.
I know.
Tell me what to play. If you want me to play, I'll play it. Damn it.
I know.
Yeah.
This is a side note, but we are going to bring back. Jeff said yesterday that Blaggards. We're going to bring that back. So so we're going to bring.
I'll play anything but that.
Yeah. We're going to bring that back. We're going to put the Man from Omaha in a separate piece, and we're going to do Blaggards again. So that's coming up.
Yeah, Man from Omaha about our friend Jeff Quinn. Yeah, which we've talked about. There's a whole show we talk about that song and him. Yeah.
So Glenn Tilbrook singing lead in what band?
Ooh,
that's not Squeeze. What would he be a good fit for?
I mean, I'd love to hear him sing some Elvis Costello just because of that range.
It's a little too close to home now.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Well, again, we were talking about them.
About Saxon.
Huh?
Saxon?
Really?
No, I'm totally fucking with you.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it'd be silly to put someone like that in like a metal category, but.
No, but to me, his voice is just lighter. It's just, it's so smooth, and it's such a mid-rangey upper register.
Yeah, you think about the guys like Glenn, Elvis, Costello, Nick Lowe, Dave Edmonds. You know, they're all kind of cut from.
Edmonds.
Oh fuck yeah, dude, he's awesome.
Oh my god,
I think they're all kind of cut from the same. They're all contemporaries of each other too, so they're all cut from the same kind of cloth, and kind of not similar songwriting, but interesting songwriting. They're all write interesting songs.
Here's one that not a lot of people know, but Mark Knopfler asked Vince Gill to sing lead for him, and I still can't hear it to this day. I like Vince Gill, some stuff.
He's a great guitar player, and his voice is killer too.
In Dire Straits, he wanted him to sing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he asked him to sing lead.
I can't really see that.
No, I can't see it either. But I could see Glenn Tilbrook singing for Dire Straits. Why?
Yeah, sure.
Well,
just because he's got a little bit more.
Hey, what's that song he actually sang on one of his solo records? Steel Town, what was it?
Silvertown Blues.
Silvertown Blues. Incredible song. Yeah.
If you get a chance, anybody gets a chance, look up Silvertown Blues by Mark Knopfler.
Is that on Sailing to Philadelphia?
That's on. Yes.
Yeah. That's why.
And also, while you're there, Speedway at Nazareth.
That is his masterpiece. Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, no, pretend I didn't say that because I'm going to rip that song off. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's Glenn Tilbrook's. It'd be a strange mix, I think, for anything. But I know he could do damage, good damage, wherever he was placed, because he's one of those people that doesn't just know music. He lives music.
Mhm.
You know, you could tell by his.
Yeah. Yeah, but also though, you couldn't put him somewhere dumb. Like you couldn't put him in like a straight ahead pop band because it just wouldn't make any sense because it seems like he's too intelligent.
Yeah.
The way his lyrics are and the way his songs are crafted, it's too smart for like just a straight up kind of pop. Maybe even U2. I mean, he'd be too smart for U2, you know?
Yeah.
That would be weird.
And U2 has a few songs that are a little bit more in depth than they're still crappy. But I mean, you know.
Well, you see, I just like U2 as a whole, but I have to say, Bono as a lyricist is pretty
Some
deep.
interesting stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty. And I have to say, I like that. I like that style of lyric. Just in the journey of the lyric versus the
Application.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were, I mean, as sick of them as we are now, I mean, they were an important band in the 80s for sure. You kind of bridge this.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Talking Heads, they kind of bridge this one of those bridges between punk and modern, mainstream music.
Yeah.
At the time. But
When they got mainstream, though, they got and Talking Heads said it right. Once they got mainstream, they said, "Fuck it, we're done."
yeah. Well, there was some deeper reasons for that too.
Yeah, but Chad's not going to divulge.
Devolve in it.
I don't feel like it.
Okay, so what are some of your favorite folk duos? We're not doing that. Simon and Oates,
Yeah.
Hall and Garfunkel.
But now that's a good Hall and Oates. I know Daryl Hall's got a good voice and whatnot, but to me it's kind of paper thin. I would love to hear Glenn Tilbrook sing Daryl Hall's parts. Just because now I love some of Daryl Hall and John Oates, some of their hits.
Yeah.
And I think that they're really, really well crafted. And those guys, when it just pisses me off watching the interview, you go, oh yeah, they wrote that. Oh, and that one, and that one, and that one. I said,
They were unstoppable in the 80s.
Yeah.
They were, for the first part of the 80s, they were,
Yes.
you couldn't
They were
stop
huge.
Yes.
them. Yeah.
And I saw a concert, and it just had to be mimed. There's no way in hell they were playing that. No way. There's a massive band on the stage, and you had the G.E. Smith and
T-Bone Walk.
yes,
Mickey Curry on drums, I
Yeah.
think. And that guy playing saxophone.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was just way too polished.
No, that's yeah. Was it the one Live from Dublin one that was on TV? They've done
I
one.
didn't see that one. I think this was New York or something. It was,
Yeah.
but it was this massive stage, and they had helicopters. They had all kinds of
Jesus.
they had all kinds of angles and whatnot. And it was just I watched it, and I appreciate the effort, but there's just no way in God's green
I don't
earth
know. The one I saw was Live from Dublin, and it was live. They were doing the thing. They were doing it great. But I was shocked at how lame Daryl Hall's in between song banter was. It was just like no effort at all.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Play the next song.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. This one's called Kisses on Your List. Here we go. Just like what dude, after all these years you can't like be witty, be self-effacing, be funny, be nothing.
It's
nothing at all. Delicious.
I understand
Terrible.
how challenging that is because I've always had trouble with that. And I have, honestly too, I haven't had enough practice with it in recent years, but I've learned a lot from watching this guy.
Oh yeah, well Patrick has it down.
Oh yeah, it's an art form.
You're
You know who doesn't have it down? Well, he's dead now. Doesn't got nothing down, but 6 feet down. Ronnie James Dio. In between song banter.
Hey guys,
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It's hilarious.
Just terrible.
Well, it's such contrast with the singing personality. Like, thanks guys, that was really
all
nice.
right, we're gonna do this one now.
Yeah.
Oh, this one. Just like
But that's another thing that I can't get over, and it's unforgivable. Is you have to bring a new. It's a different show. It's a different time. It's a different place. You're in a new. Even if you play Long Beach Arena for 12 nights in a row, or you play Madison Square Gardens, whatever it is, you're in a new spot all the time. So you need to have that. You need to have that. This is for you. This is your, like the live stream. Yeah, we can't see you. We know you're there.
Yeah.
And we love the banter that goes on afterwards, and during, because we read the
comments,
I haven't got around to reading anything yet. Yesterday was a mess. However, back to the original point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a new show, it's a new crowd, it's a new, even if it's not the same crowd, even if it's the same people that came back to see you, on your live.
Well, yeah, but it's a new day.
You've got to get, and one thing that I've learned is how appreciative we are of being able to do this for a living. Now that it's been taken away, now that it was actually just stopped in its tracks and you're left, just out in the cold, and you miss it. And so that's why when we did the live stream, we brought it back to the electric thing, to what we love to do. But even still, you've got to know where you are, and you've got to give it its own space, because it's a brand, but that blows me away that you can't talk to the crowd. And even Freddie Mercury and the Wembley, their most famous live recorded
thing?
No, the Live Aid was fine because nobody.
Oh, the one they did at Wembley a few months after.
The Queen's,
yeah,
the big, whatever it was. They still didn't have. To me, it didn't have the. It was great the singing back and forth, but the crowd. That's always wonderful. But just the banter,
Yeah, it's sometimes shocking that that's your. I mean, if you're the lead guy, the lead singer, you're in the front of the band. But it's like we talked about the Cheap Tricks the same way. It's like Rob Zander doesn't do the talking. Rick Nielsen does, and Rick does it. Even he's kind of crappy at it now. So it just boggles the mind that you spend your life in front of people.
Yes.
Your whole life, you should have something to say that's interesting.
Yeah. And Tom Petty, he is famous for using the same banter every single night.
I played in a band with a guy that did the same banter every single gig.
That would I would throw something at him.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah, and every story was the same story, no matter if it was a weekly gig at the Broken Spoke or when we were on the road. It was the same story over and over again.
I just hate that, and I don't want to be in that.
But you know what I hated the most, besides that, was that the bass player would laugh every single time.
Hey, that's job security.
You know why? Exactly, sucking up.
Yeah,
I get it, because you want to be, because especially it's just the same story in a different venue every night, and I get it, you want to be engaging and stuff like that. So maybe that was his way of being engaging with the audience, was laughing at all the stupid ass, lame ass jokes
like
that we heard
Ed
1,000 times before.
Yeah.
Like Ed McMahon, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something.
You are correct, sir.
If you are in a band and you're playing a show, if you're interested in keeping the crowd's attention, and you're interested in putting on a show, then, and this drives me crazy about all bands, small or national or whatever. If you're on stage, it's a band. It's supposed to be a band. And if you're doing your own thing, watching your feet, not watching, when the drummer's got a thing, when the singer, with bass players got, when anybody's doing their thing, you just gotta kind of stand back and let them go. I do not like to. I'm not going to stand in front unless there's no room. I'm not going to stand and not move. I'm going to get out of the way and stuff. When you're doing your thing, I want to get out of the way, and because usually because of thanks to COVID, now I'm twice as getting so big. I can block out your whole drum kit.
Yeah.
So I want us to get out of the way. You just got to be conscious of this. It's a show, and they want to see the drummer do his thing. They want to see so if you're in a band, you got to, it's the give and take. And it just makes the show much more appealing if you're A, moving around, and B, giving the space to the person doing the thing. And
if you're having fun, it's going to reflect on the audience. Say, well, they're really having fun up there.
Yeah.
Maybe I could have fun too.
Yeah.
I can get out there and dance, girl.
Uh-huh.
And it's always, and that's why you mentioned the Tom Petty thing. I was thinking about that immediately when we started talking about this. it makes it just seems to make it less special, because part of the magic of going to a show is that you're seeing something that's only happening. Yeah, they may be playing the same songs every night on this tour, but this show is only happening one time. You're there to see it.
Yes.
And say like, man, that was great when this happened. And he said this between the songs. It was funny. And then you go and you see a video later, and it's the exact same thing. Every city. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, but I have to tell you too, as somebody that's messed up names and places, I know, you know, thank you, Detroit, and you're in Cleveland. You know, you're that, not that, just dedication or something, and you mess up the name. There's just a lot of stuff going on. So you're in that, you're on stage and you're trying to do your very best, and you're going to mispronounce a name or a date or an event or whatever it is. You're going to mispronounce it. You're going to misspeak, or, you know, but if you're honest, which, you know, we are on stage, we're not playing crap that we're, you know, this is Love Shack. We're not trying to get the dance floor. We're doing what we do. And if the dance floor is full or people are having fun and they're drinking out, that's our goal. But we're not there to suck up to the audience by, and I don't mean that people that come to see us know what they're getting, but when we go into a new place, we don't try to, well, this song didn't work, so let's do this one. Let's break out.
Yeah, no.
We don't do that.
Yeah.
And nor should the who's ever speaking in between this, they should never patronize it, because they can read that faster than anything. But you should at least just do a little bit of, like you say, this is the only show.
Be in the moment, yeah.
Yes, this is the only show that anybody's ever going to see right now, right here, and you're gonna.
Yeah.
I think that Patrick, as a lead guy, has the wit about him, about yourself, to say interesting things, funny things that are different. Most every single gig, even on the live stream, it's different and funny. And you know who else has that gift is Alan Hill. Alan Hill has the ability to, when we do the oldies band stuff, he's always got a different joke or something funny to say, or a funny lead into a song, or something like that. So it's the ability to have that kind of, you know, quick turnaround in your brain to make things interesting, not only for the audience but for the band. I mean,
exactly.
You know,
exactly. Well, we've never played the same show twice.
Right.
We've never played the same, and we always say that we've never. But Alan's one of those people that has that. He's an encyclopedia when it comes to music. I am not. I'm an encyclopedia with the stuff that I like. Sure. Which is this big. Alan,
he knows a lot.
Yeah, he really does. And we had him on here, and we're in awe of his not only his musical history and his abilities, but again his passion for the stuff. And if you don't not to say that people that can't. Here's the I tell my kids all the time. I say I'm deathly shy, which doesn't come off on stage. But if you knew the terror that was inside of here before that first note, it's sometimes uncontrollable. I'm shaking and sweating and all that stuff that comes with it. But for the longest time, my kids didn't believe it. Now they believe it, because I've,
Didn't believe that you were shy?
Yeah. And getting up and standing up in front of people and talking is the most difficult. And I tell them too, I say, I remember the first note that I ever sang in public on a microphone. And I wanted to throw up. I wanted to faint. I saw a star. I'm serious, right before it. And if it wasn't for our good friend Davey Bryan, who said, "Get your fat ass up there." No, he was Davey's been a dear friend of ours for a long time. And he actually one of the first people I met in Houston, and a killer guitar player, great singer, folk and blues guy. But he coaxed me and coached me and pushed me in front of the microphone, and it was the biggest weight taken off once you did it.
Yeah.
But again, no banter, no idea of how to work a crowd. But you can see it. You can see it in any performer. If you go out there and you just, you go and see bands, and you see the people that know how music works and how audiences work and how to deliver a live, because I don't care how how gifted you are at your craft, your a Mighty Orc comes to mind. If you're serious about what you do, you'll see that talent mixed with that banter. You know, that just keeps you there. You just can't take your eyes off what's happening on the stage.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this for a second. What do you attribute to, besides, I mean, that one moment of Davey pushing you on stage that first time? You're saying that you are such a shy person, but it's so you wouldn't really know that. Really, you'd either have to tell people like you just did, or like have known you for years. Have you ever really seen that?
Everyone knows now.
What do you attribute that to? I mean, to overcoming that outwardly anyway. Like what is it besides being on stage and in general?
What's it about?
Yeah, but what is there something that you think that you've done to coach yourself above that?
No, I'm still deathly terrified. I'm still deathly terrified of playing that first note on stage. I remember, I can remember a lot of shows where it's just, okay, and go. And just, you have to get that first bit of noise out to kind of steady the ship. Yeah. So yeah, I'm still nervous about every single show. I think about it. Like yesterday was a classic example of how the day got away from me, and due to no fault of my own, just circumstances, you know, during the day, just sent everything into a tailspin. And then when I get the text and you guys are at the space and already I'm that far behind. I thought I was a little bit behind. I didn't know it's that far behind. Well, then you get there and you start setting up and you're just sweating profuse because it's disrespectful to be late. It's disrespectful to you know, kind of show up and just, that's why I hope I apologize a few times yesterday, but then on top of that, you full of energy because you know what you're about to do, and the nerves kind of stop you from, you don't want to get, I don't even want to get ready too fast for the show because I don't want that moment. You know, I got to get through that next moment of and go. It's terrifying. Yeah. And I don't know why. And I don't like talking to, you know, lots of people on a microphone, and it doesn't, you know, this is fine. Obviously I'm comfortable around you, but the standing up on a stage under the lights and talking to, it's terrifying. So what you do is, you know, you'll find I often single somebody out and focus on talk to them, one thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then so that's kind of a trick. And the other thing is to, you know, just stare at the back of the room, find something at the back of the room and stare and, you know, do your thing. But if I didn't, so yesterday again was a mess too, because so with all that said, all the being late and running and racing to get ready, you don't have time to mentally prepare for the show, so it's harder than to be in that moment and to give that performance that you want to give, you know, because people had come out, you know, the neighbors had come out and Peter and Kathy had come out, they're sitting there and Keith was filming and stuff, and you know, we're delighted to be playing, we're delighted to see all our friends and whatnot, and then to see, you know, to know everybody online is seeing us. I have to be ready for that. I have to be, you know, you want to, you know, and I don't want to forget people to thank, which is, you know, because, you know, we love what we do and we want to thank them. We want to thank them as much as we can because it really is a privilege to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think the live stream adds a little bit of an extra element too, because people are chiming in about what songs they want to hear, or they've donated money or whatever else. So then it becomes another issue, like you just said. Whereas a live show is just like, hey, thanks for coming out, everybody. Great to see you, kind of a thing. Whereas this one is a little bit more like, I got to do the checklist of anything. But how about that first track we played yesterday? Wasn't that awesome?
What did we play?
What was the first song?
Moonshiner. Where none of us could hear the guitar in our monitors for some reason.
And I counted off 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think Jeff went 1, 2, this bit. And he came in early. I was like, oh shit, I guess we're starting.
Yeah.
But see, that's the beauty of that's the beauty of like, you know, like you said, getting that first bit of noise out, and then once you hit the verse, we were totally locked in and totally ready to play. The beginning was kind of a weird thing, but that's what live music is. I mean, live music is you're gonna have mistakes.
Well, we're still getting used to the in-ear monitors. We just got these before the shutdown, and so we've only had a handful of times to play with them since then. So we get up there, and I think we forget, because in the past it didn't matter. We're so used to just plugging in and going, dude, spot check, line check, whatever. Okay, let's go. That's what we're known for. And people always talk about how quick we are in setup. But now we get there like, oh crap, I can hear myself. You used to not have to worry about other people's volume levels, you know. It's like even if the guitar was, I didn't have to ever worry about not being able to hear Patch's guitar. And now it's like, well, shit, I can't hear him at all. I have no idea where we are. So yeah, it's funny. We'll get better at that. So apologies to anybody.
No, we won't.
No, we won't.
No, we won't. I could hear the guitar great. I was having fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is truly wonderful time yesterday. And it's nice to
fun
to go back to three soaking wet shirts at the end. I think because I ran in the afternoon. I went for you know, I had to clear the house, and so it was you know,
I was tired after that shit. After that set, I think I was telling Chad, because Chad and I both said we were tired after. I think it's just playing outside in the heat.
Yeah, I was wiped out. When I got home.
We're out of practice.
Yeah.
We used to do this 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And then we're not.
Yeah. I've got
and
it.
The temperature's gone up a little bit.
Yeah,
it's
just a bit.
97.
Yeah.
97.
A little warm.
Yeah.
Summer's here.
Yeah. So we're gonna hopefully I'm gonna lose some of this COVID
weight.
fridge tripping.
Yeah, when I showed up at Keith's place, A&A Supply yesterday, our friends Steve Candelari, and Dave Blessing, I'm trying to remember his last name.
Not sure what Dave's name.
The bass player. They were there scoping out the place because they're doing a live stream there later today, which I'm really looking forward to seeing.
What's that band called?
I think Engine Driver, which is a quote. It's a quote from a Who song. They're a Who cover
very
band.
Obscure quote. Yeah, I think
it's from a Quick One While She's Away.
Okay.
That's one of the parts of that. That's like a mini opera. One of them is I'm an engine. My name is Ivor. I'm an engine driver. I think something like that.
Interesting.
He's the guy that has the affair with. He's the guy who has the quick one. Well, he's away, not she's away. Well, he's away.
Okay.
Obviously. Anyway. Yeah. But when they showed up there, the first thing we talked about was the heat. Like, it's kind of hot today. It's like, yeah, that was fun while it lasted. Oh well.
Yeah. Well, they got a little bit more cloud cover today, so they should be all right. But yeah. So yeah, it's fun. It's funny. It's funny like prepping for gigs and stuff like that. When the very first gig I did with you guys this year at T-Bone Tom's, I was fucking scared shitless. I really was. Not because I don't know how to play the drums, but because I wanted to make sure that everything was right for you guys. And having all those people there that have seen you guys 1,000 times with Mike, I didn't want to be like, screwing up or not bringing the right tone or attitude to the songs. But over time, now it's just become, what's the first song? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. And then we just start, but the stage, the pre-show jitters have pretty much gone away.
Yeah. I've noticed that with myself. We had a whole couple of shows. We talked about nervousness last year at some point, but it has become, I don't think I grapple with nervousness as much as you still do. And I say grapple, nobody notices that you're grappling with it. I know it's all internal because, and obviously the reason is that you're the one who always has to talk. I love the fact that I don't have to talk. Like I cherish that fact that it even not only does even if I wanted to talk, I think really in this, and I'm happy about that I purposely stay off the mic because I don't want to step on his game.
Sure.
And that to me, that's like I likened it. I've always likened it to Penn and Teller, where there's a really clear role, really clear roles that they play. It's like I think is it Penn, the one who talks?
Yes.
Yeah. He's so good at it. There's no reason for Teller to talk.
Yeah.
And it's just he plays that up, and I love that part of it. But I used to, like you're saying, the very first time I went on stage, it was similar. That was your first time on stage with that show with Davey. My first time was in high school with Elemental Penguin, my Talking Heads / Beatles cover band.
Jesus, it's a lot to take in.
Yeah, I know. But for the very first, it was funny. Actually, the very first time I played was a solo gig. I did just one song. I played at the media fair at HSPVA. I played one original song that I'd written, and I'm sure I was nervous that night too. But for some reason, I don't really remember being like horrified about going on. I don't know why. But the first time I played with the band, which was at a school dance, everybody sitting there, a very attentive audience, just waiting for us to come out, and I was literally hyperventilating. And
oh my God!
All between and
crazy.
Camille Zamora, who's an opera singer now, she's I think she's with the New York Opera. And she was one of our backup singers, and she came up like because being a singer and being a performer, she already knew, she's been coached on how to deal with nervousness, and she assured me, it's like, you're gonna be fine, you'll be fine, just breathe, deep breaths. It's like and it's a good thing that you're nervous. That's a sign of a good performer, that you're nervous. It means you care about what you're about to do.
It's got a point, essentially.
So. But yeah, it's kind of interesting to me too that it seems to be an industry, a usual thing or a common thing in the industry that music or musicians who perform seem to be more introverted and shy than you might think. Some of them, it's kind of obvious that they're shy, like people like David Byrne. He kind of, that's always kind of been worked into his stage presence, that he's kind of awkward and so forth. But that seems to be more common in musicians than it is like in like actors, for example. Who a lot of actors I know, a lot of thespian people are just naturally extremely gregarious and out there and outgoing. Musicians tend to be more introverted generally.
Yeah, but I do want to say too on the banter part, the thing that a pet peeve of mine is everybody on stage with a microphone, everybody on stage doing their, and a lot of times it could be fun, but most of the time it's going to be, you've got a really funny thing, and by the time you do it, by the time your punchline comes, it's you've already got your response to it, and maybe the retort steps on the thing, and then it ends up being nothing. It ends up just being noise.
Yeah.
And that drives me up the wall. Mm-hmm. Again, that's the band thing. You're in a band, and if you, chances are, if Eric's talking, there's going to be a punchline, right? Just how it is.
Just saying.
Just how it is.
Yeah, just saying.
So maybe just take an extra little breath and just let him finish before you go, and my grandmother likes to, hey, we know your grandmother's a squirter. Let's keep it quiet. Let the thing run its course, And
she squirts dust now. There's a punchline.
Well, here's the thing. You see, I was just talked over.
Exactly.
Because I hadn't done.
But I timed it that way. I timed it so that you were talking.
So when you have your give and take too, there's a rhythm to it. And to have that constant chatter, first of all, never give an Irishman a microphone. We learned that at playing these, the Celtic supporters, Christmas parties and whatnot. Scotsmen as well. Don't give them microphones, right? Ever. Because they won't. Oh, I see what you did there. Okay. To me. So, no, but really, please don't ever. The second thing is when you have that noise, when you have that constant banter between the band, the punchline never comes out and your point's never taken and your band's not taken seriously because you're not, and that's probably how they play. Yeah. So, so when you,
I have to go through.
Anyway, we learned the hard way of when you play a wedding, when you play Celtic sport, and you put the microphone, you give the microphone to somebody, they want to get up and say a few words. They don't know how to use a mic, so they're and you can't hear anything.
Or they're way up too close, feeding it back and stuff.
And then the second thing is the too close on the,
or they put their hand over it.
Yeah. Well, they see the rappers, and holding the mics like this, or talking with your thing over your nose, or however you want to do it. It's not going to be the right, it's not going to be the right dynamic for what you need. So you go through all that crap, and then, to say nothing, all you're doing is you're running people off the out of the room by letting this banter, this jabber, this yapping go on for an excruciating amount of time. So
I think it's just as important as the musicality in a show, the banter, and and that's why, like you say, these bands, you think that they're being funny, by having everybody go, hey, blah, 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 like some kind of morning zoo show.
Yeah.
And so some bands might be really good at that. And I'm struggling to think of one now where there's more than one person talking where it's funny. The only show that came to mind was, and it wasn't even really a band. It was the Finn brothers. It was Neil Finn and Tim Finn were doing a solo tour together. Just the two of them playing. It was one of the greatest shows I saw in the 90s, I think. The two of them had a natural back and forth. Yes. But they're brothers, so you expect that. But the Finn brothers. Yeah.
Those guys.
Mm-hmm.
They were just total naturals at it. But I haven't seen a whole lot of bands where there was more than one person talking where it worked. Sometimes just like, shut up.
Yeah.
It's just, anyway. It turns into a big mess most of the time.
Except on that live Police record from 1977 or something like that in Boston. So now that they basically packaged the live from 77 Boston Orpheum concert with the Synchronicity live from Atlanta, the one that they made the video of.
Oh yeah.
So kind of like the bookends of their career basically, and the great thing about the one in 77 is Sting says something on the microphone, and you hear Stewart shout like "So's your mother" or something like that. So Sting says something about a song, and Stewart finds a way to be derogatory about it because he's obviously pissed at Sting like he always was the whole career basically. But it's like "So's your mother" or something like that. So there's that kind of stage banter, which is fun.
Yeah, that's fun. Yes,
little outbursts like that. That's different.
He doesn't have a microphone, so he's shouting it. So like
in the background,
the drum microphone's
that's different. Yeah,
fuck your mother or something like that.
I've got your. I remember when we first started playing with you full time, and you. I said Eric C. Hughes on the drums. You said, "Hey, how you doing?" And it came out. I was like, "Cool," because I could hear it. And it was but that's cool.
That's different.
It's when on my way here, my thing. Hey, my dog's got no nose. How does he smell? There's no rhythm to it, and there's no. But I think it would be even worse if it was a rehearsed.
Oh God.
A rehearsed 4 or 5 way thing. I think that would be worse. I think because you got to give the audience credit too. They can read into anything. You can you can tell if it's a bunch of musicians that are playing together for money. If it's I don't mean that for obviously we play for money.
We get paid for this.
Yeah, but if it's a band that does, and I know musicians that just are playing for a paycheck. Meaning it's not anything that comes naturally to them. They learned this stuff to go out and to make the maximum dollar with X, Y, or Z. So they're coming out and they're trying to, they're not trying to, they're just going through the motions
There's corporate bands that are like
yes.
that. I mean, they're actually, their job is to be in a corporate band that goes out and finds private parties and here's the set list. And I could tell you all kinds of stories about this guy. We play this. Oh my God, I can't remember the name of the band. I'll find out for it. That'll be another story. But the idea, like exactly what you're saying, they just go out and they play corporate parties, and it's like who can make the gig? Can you make it? Okay, we need to find a guitar player, and they have a roster of musicians that they pick from, and it's all pre-programmed or whatever.
Spasmatics.
Spasmatics.
Oh,
God.
So it's
shit. But easy boy.
Yeah. So now Chad's excited. Chad applied.
But how many Spasmatics are there?
But he didn't.
Are there 4 different?
It's a franchise.
Bands? Yeah.
It's a franchise. So they the songs, the backing tracks are all sold to these guys, and they go out and they do their thing. Now I've seen the show, and it's wonderful once, but it's like buying a comedy CD. Why would you buy a comedy CD? And again, hats off to these comedians. I don't think the comedians get half the credit they deserve, and I think that comedians should be running the country. I really do. I think Doug Stanhope, Dave Chappelle, Cat Williams,
Bill Burr,
Jim Gaffigan. I think these people should be in charge. And I'm not joking when I say that, but we'll talk about that another time. But when you have the audience can see right through a corporate band like that. Now, not the corporations, not the people that go to the party and get out and dance to Brick House.
No, that's the function.
Yes,
that's the function.
Exactly.
But musicians will be like,
yes,
like Spinal Tap.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you go to a show at the Continental Club, you can see right through those guys. If they came out and they did an impromptu jam session at the Continental Club, the Continental crowd will see right through that.
Oh yeah.
If you get those corporate monkeys in there to do that stuff, then they see right through it. However, some of those players, when they do what they love, they're not getting the same money as they were getting for that corporate gig.
Right.
But when you see them play what they love, that's what you want to see. That's what the crowd will eat up and they'll stay for and they'll cheer for and they'll dance for. That's what they're going for. Mm-hmm. So when you have this Mickey Mouse, like you say, the roster of musicians that can play, that's for money. That's only for money. That's not for any kind of love of the game. Or I don't know anybody that wants to go out and play Love Shack. Seriously. I mean, like I was talking about the bar that was playing Red Hot Chili Peppers, and they find the worst music to play every day, every night. And I need to hire somebody to go sit outside the club and write down the names of these, and I'll list you off
Make a set list.
I'll list you off write the set list out, and there won't be anybody that'll be everybody's going to be swinging from a rope by the end of it. It's the worst.
Johnny was a schoolboy, guitar in his hand.
But you know what that song needs? Na 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 na. They need a na 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 na.
They need a.
Oh wait, they do have.
How's it go? Na na na. I can't even fucking sing that tune.
Good.
Yeah, good.
That's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know if you noticed, we actually played a gig with the Spasmatics once.
Conversation.
How'd that turn out?
Yeah. It was definitely educational because I'd never seen a band doing or playing to that. We've seen bands with pre-recorded, tracks, or sequence things that they're playing along to. This was something way beyond that, because it was a private party we played for, I think, the physics department or chemistry department, I think, at College Station.
Yeah,
and we played first, and then Spasmatics came on.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, and I'd heard things about the Spasmatics for years. They're the really great '80s cover band. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I was really interested to see them. It was clear watching them sound check that number one, the drummer was a real drummer. He was really good. So that was like, okay, maybe this is going to be good. And then the show started, and it did sound good. And Patrick and I were standing back by the sound guy. I think it was it Kevin?
Kevin?
I think it might have been. Yeah,
possibly. Yeah.
And we were standing there going, huh. And the sound guy leans over and goes, don't be impressed. Almost everything you're hearing is pre-recorded. Like, you're like, well, how much? And he was like 95% of it. Did
he let us hear on the headphones?
I think he handed it to you. Yeah.
I vaguely remember him putting and we played just the pre-recorded track, and it was everything we were watching.
Yeah.
At that moment.
Yeah.
So they don't play their instruments?
The drummer was. That's the only thing I can verify.
The drummer was, but there are pre-recorded drum tracks.
There are.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But again, it does take a lot of skill to play to a click track and to play.
Oh, well, I got a story about that. Yeah.
Yeah. There is a gift. I mean, I was having trouble just playing with the click track on the last recording session. It was just coming in, and as soon as I start singing, because in your head, it's like your voice takes over and compresses everything else. So it was taking the beat out, and I was trying to sing, and then so it's extremely difficult to sing, play, and hold the time down.
Yeah, and
so there's a thing to that, but listening to the keyboard parts, the shakers, the all the stuff that was in the mix at that moment, when you're watching and it's just, even to mime it is difficult. Yeah. But they were miming it.
Yeah, they I have to say, as far as that goes, they were doing a great job.
Yeah,
miming those tracks, because even I was fooled. Yeah. At least for the first couple of songs, at least until I was informed. So yeah. I don't remember which happened first.
Wow.
But it's essentially they're basically it's like those you go to a theme park, an amusement park, and they've got these
Right.
shows where the actors are up there singing, and everything they're doing is mimed to a pre-recorded track, even the speech.
Yeah.
And nothing is live. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that. So I think of those people as more of actors than musicians in a way. So, it was clearly the business model seemed to be working because, freaking franchise. I remember reading about them. I think it was based in Chicago or something like that. But I think there was a Spasmatics in Chicago.
I have no idea. I've already lost interest in it.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's fascinating to me, but it has nothing to do with actual.
Yeah. Well, we played beside the Spasmatics in Austin. It seemed like,
that's right. Yeah,
like
there was
Cedar Street.
Yeah.
And we'd be playing a thing, and we're loud and obnoxious, and and every kind of genre, and so and they were packed. They were absolutely packed, but we were packed too. We had a great, and ours was the same crowd. Theirs was a different crowd all the time.
Yeah.
Again, it's like buying a comedy CD. You know the punchline. You know what their stage show is.
Mm-hmm.
They do the same thing and the same. So I don't want to see the same show twice. We just talked about that.
Yeah, I know.
Why would you want to? So rock and roll, I guess, is what you make it. But man,
it's all about choices.
Yeah.
As a side story about that, I always think about this when I think of those guys. When we at Fido, there are many, many stories we could tell about things that happen in the alleyway behind Fido. Hilarious things, funny things. Yeah. For I think it was about the span of maybe about a year. At one point, the city decided that they were going to post a sign saying you were only allowed to drive through the alleyway one direction, and that was from Colorado to Lavaca, and which was really annoying. And it's just Fido and Cedar Street. There was also Lucky's on the other side of the block, and there was Antone's right there. That's where Antone's used to be, and so you couldn't. There was always somebody coming and going, and the chances were really good that you were going to get blocked in, whether you were loading or unloading, whatever it was. And so we tried to obey this rule for when they first instituted it, but it quickly became obvious that it was completely unworkable, because usually there would be somebody would be loading into Lucky's in the middle of the alleyway. So if you came in the right way, you'd have to sit there and wait for them to finish before you could proceed to Fido and unload our stuff. So we very quickly said, forget this. We're not going to obey this rule. And there's one time, the routine was at Fido that we would unload the stuff, and then I'd take the van and go and park it at the post office a couple blocks away. And then I'd go get the van and bring it back when we're ready to leave. So this one at the end of the night, I was trying to bring the van back, and that was an operation in itself. Sometimes, depending on how bad traffic was, I had to try to figure out how I was going to get. Sometimes it would take a while. Sometimes it would take me like 20 minutes to get back to the pub, depending on how bad the traffic was. But anyway, this particular time, I'm sitting there waiting to get in the alleyway, and very frequently that didn't matter. Both sides of the alleyway would be blocked by somebody or something going on. This time, the bass player from Spasmatics was coming out in his little VW Bug, and some friends of his in the thing, and he pulls the edge of the alleyway, and he sees me waiting there in the van, and he points at the sign. You're coming in the wrong way. You're supposed to go around.
Oh my
I was just sitting there, oh, really? He thinks maybe he can't hear me. I'll say it again. I'm like, would you get the hell
out of the way?
He gets all mad and speeds off like, freaking moron. I'm not going to get out of the van and explain to you why I'm not.
I'm glad he chose the role of bass player and alley police that night.
I was like, what the hell are you doing?
I'm sure he's a better man for it.
He's trying to, how was me getting in there after you're leaving inconveniencing you at all?
Exactly. Are
Anyway,
you leaving? Yeah.
That's another reason why I don't like those guys. Anyway, it was the same bass player who was in the band when we played the show with him too. Whoever that guy was.
See, we should have killed him that night.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway.
So are we gonna sing Happy Birthday to Judy?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Happy birthday to you,
Judy.
Happy birthday to you,
Judy.
Happy birthday, dear Judy.
Happy birthday to you and many more. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little late now, but happy birthday, and again, thanks for listening and telling your friends and telling your enemies, and we're dying to get back and see you. So keep an eye on that.
We're not dying. We don't want to die.
Well, I mean,
you know,
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all slowly dying, hopefully.
That's
I
an
got a few
awkward.
more. I got a few more good years, I think.
I always find myself second guessing whenever I'm trying to say something. I'm dying to do this, or this guy's killing it. Stuff like that.
Well, I was
I'm
hoping that
is this
kill
the right
this
time to
kid.
be using those
smart
phrases?
enough to figure out what I'm saying. But anyway, present company excluded. So we listen. Thanks for listening, and we cannot wait. Well, I'm dying to see you. They can't wait to see you, and we cannot thank you enough either. But I'm dying to thank you enough for everything, and we'll see you all very, very soon. And don't go changing. Say no to drugs unless you're sharing, and wash your hands.
Yes.
Fair enough.
All right.
See you, folks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
See you next week.